Hey everyone, welcome to another garden update. There is a lot of stuff growing, which is super exciting. It's nice to be in the middle of summer and see so much return on our labor. So we'll get into it. Here we go. So here is where what we have started to call our nursery. These tomato plants, they look pretty good now, but they were little bitty babies when some friends gave them to us. We've struggled with some of the other herbs and things, but we finally have some traction on some chives, which are doing great. And I'm really excited about the catnip because that was something that just didn't seem to want to do its thing. This is some pampas grass that we grew from some fronds, or I don't know what they were called, the puffy things, from the plant down in St. Augustine that was near our condo. Got a maple tree growing. That's the seed off of that tree right there. And right over here is a Japanese maple seedling that came from our Japanese maple tree in the yard. So that's the nursery. So as you can see, compared to last time, things are really coming along. I am super excited about all of the tomatoes. The plants look a little scraggly. Part of what I'm gonna do at the end of this season is do a Things I Learned video. And one of them is that tomatoes take a lot of constant attention, especially dealing with suckers and things. But look at all these tomatoes growing everywhere. Every single variety now has tomatoes on them, from the Whoppers to the Better Boys to the beefsteaks, the Romas, tons of Romas. We actually planted a bunch of Romas, and you can see the cherry tomatoes is just starting to load up. So that's pretty darn exciting. More Romas over here. That one's been there long enough, the big one, that that should be redding out here in a little bit. Also over here, lots and lots of Romas, lots of more cherry tomatoes, and our beefsteaks are all clumping in there. So lots of tomatoes. We're excited. All the lettuce and romaine and all stuff is doing really, really good. I don't know whether I can tell it or not down here, but this is actually a full-on legit head of lettuce.
Trying to keep on top of it.
So right here is all the arugula, where we're constantly pinching the flowers off so that it's not going to seed. Again, first time we've grown a lot of this stuff, so I'm sure there might be a better way to deal with some of this and not let it get quite so spindly, but we're just kind of figuring it out as we go. But large bunch of arugula that Kim loves.
And we had it for dinner.
I had it for dinner the other night, which is great. And here's our peppers. Look at all the jalapenos that are doing their thing. It's all pretty cool. We've had sweet peppers off of this plant. We also have bell pepper coming this way. The bell pepper's as big as the plant is. But we also have more bell peppers there and more cherry tomatoes over there. So everything's rolling. The potatoes are still continuing to expand. The later bloomers they have still some blooms on them. I would imagine in the course of the next couple weeks they'll continue to yellow out and be ready to harvest here in about another couple weeks. Our pickling cucumber plant is going crazy. It's got lots of little cucumbers on it. I don't know if I can zoom in on one and find one that's easy to see. Here we go. So this is just loaded with cucumbers. Also down here, this other regular cucumber plant also has some cucumbers coming. When it comes to our companion planting flowers, they have finally popped. These sides are, which is really bizarre because like these are really big. These were planted exactly the same time and they're still small. So strange. But they are just about to have blooms, which is pretty cool. And then we swing down here. The marigolds have been doing their thing. Again, real variability in terms of size. but we do have our very first flower. Now, just popped out today. Our miscellaneous edge bed down through here, we're still not sure what this is. Assume some kind of squash, not really sure. The tomato plant, another rescue tomato plant, is kicking in, doing its thing. Same way with that one, same way with that one, same way with this one. So we'll have a little bit later tomatoes on those as well. The nasturtiums finally got some flowers, which is cool. And again, I'm not sure what that is. I'm thinking that's some sort of melon, but I don't know, we'll see. Our little strawberry container is doing great. We have a bunch of strawberries coming in, both on the inside. So this little planting is actually starting to produce some, which is kind of fun. Another, our edge bed down here, more zinnias coming up, and another, I'm pretty sure that's a yellow squash there. Here is our watermelon plant number 1 that is just sprawling all over the place. I'm thinking we might end up taking up the whole corner. Our grape is coming along, starting to throw out tendrils that we're going to wrap around the fence. Extra random leftover rescue tomatoes over here already doing their thing. So thank Phil and Emily for these plants. I guess they rescued those out of their compost pile. And look at the heads of cabbage. Another full head of cabbage. They're all coming along pretty good. We have the one down here at the end that's a sacrifice one. One down here at the end that's a sacrifice one. That seems to be where all the bugs go. And the Three Sisters beds are going absolutely crazy. The corn has grown. It's way above my head height, most of them now. And as you can see right here, we do have some ears of corn forming, which is pretty cool. And the beans are really sprawling underneath here and starting to climb up the stalks. So those two beds are doing really good. We had some wind, so I had to stake up some of the corn. We'll have to see if we got to do any more with it. But boy, it's gone crazy. Our cauliflower, on the other hand, is I've never grown it before. I don't know what it's supposed to be doing, but it doesn't seem like it's doing what its thing. This one down to the end is particularly getting eaten up. I can't really locate exactly what it is that's doing it, but with everything doing as well as it has, this isn't hurting my feelings too much, but I would like to sort it out. And our basil finally here is starting to take hold, which is good. And over here we did get a little bit of sage that has actually hung on. So it looks like we might have some sage on top of all the herbs on the back porch. This planting of radishes is just about over. We got to decide what we're going to do with a second half of the season planting for right here, and see what else we can come up with. The radishes did okay. Carrots did not. So I don't know whether it was planting depth or, but anyway, we've got to figure out what we're going to put in here for a later season harvest. And finally, our little bean plot that's up here. We actually have gone kind of crazy with this. Plants themselves are not very big, but they're starting to produce already. So we're going to get this that little bitty plant, beans as big as the plant is. But in all of these, they're really starting to produce. So we'll pick all of these and keep them going. Same thing over here. All of these are just full of beans. I mean, that one's pretty crazy how full that little plant is of beans. So we'll be having some Italian beans, Italian green beans here for dinner in the next day or two. Same thing is true of all the these, not Italian beans, but the regular string beans, and all of these are flowering down here. So everything's kind of moving.
Yes.
Here's our back deck, herb garden and other miscellaneous things. Our chamomile has jumped up there and finally sprouted some fun little flowers. And over here, down in this section, We have majority of that is oregano, and then with some rosemary, and there is some chervil that's come up right there, and back underneath, hiding under there, is
Lemon balm.
lemon balm. So we got to cut back the oregano just a little bit to let the other ones thrive. So here's one variety of blueberries that are giving us a few blueberries here and there. Actually, there are some growing right there. Not too many have come to ripen yet, but gotten a few off. This basil has gone super crazy. We also have back here is cilantro back in the back, down the bottom. And what is this, Kim?
I don't know. It may be what.
Maybe that's I don't know. Weird. It looks like it's growing with the cilantro, but and so
Maybe
got plenty of basil. If
it's-
anybody needs basil. And here's our other blueberry bush over here. Again, this is another different variety. It has blueberries coming in. These are supposed to get pretty big, so we have some that are ripening up. Nice. And of course our lemongrass over here and lemongrass over here. Here is the chocolate mint. We got it and it actually looked like it almost died and has just sprung back miraculously, which is all super fun to see. Also right there is the Japanese maple that provided the little seed to be able to put our seedling out. So we'll see if it actually grows. All right, everyone, hope you enjoyed the update. We'll see you soon.